This might be the most epic multi-day hike in England that you can complete without needing a car. Starting at St Ives station and finishing at Penzance, this stunning section of the southwest coast path takes you through clifftop paths along rugged peninsulas and through pretty fishing villages with lots of historic sites along the way. Usually advertised as a 5-day walk, me and my friend decided to attempt it in 3, stopping off in accommodation in Pendeen and Trevervan along the way. It also happened to be on the weekend of Storm Amy, bashing us with 50-mile-an-hour winds, luckily pushing us inland. Starting off early in St Ives, we stocked up on pasties to take on the first day, which, along its 16-mile distance, doesn't offer much in the way of provisions. From St Ives, the scenery quickly becomes epic, with impressive rock formations and dramatic views of the sea. This first section is particularly challenging, with lots of ups and downs and some technical descending, which requires a careful approach. The path is signposted in places, and while the rule of thumb that if the sea's on your right you're probably about on track is a relatively safe one, it's not always super easy to navigate, so having maps or a route to follow on your phone or watch is advisable. While we knew we had bad weather to expect so could prepare accordingly, the weather in this part of the world can be very changeable, so it's worth packing a waterproof and some layers even if you've got a good forecast. It's also worth making sure you've got some provisions and a first aid kit too. The terrain is challenging and you're often a long way from help, so do be prepared. There are plenty of beaches en route, so you could easily stop for a swim, but we didn't fancy it on this occasion. 7 hours of walking later, we made it to Pendeen, where we stopped off for a pint and a pie in the local alehouse, the North Inn. On day 2, we were out of our accommodation by 8 AM and headed back to the coast, making a few friends en route. Today's paths provide a bit more variation and a few more options for stopping for refreshments. You'll pass the impressive and oddly beautiful Giva Tin Mine and will enjoy similarly epic clifftop views. A few hours in, we stopped off for chips in Senan, and it wasn't long before we were passing England's most westerly point, Land's End. While today's route was definitely more accessible, there's still plenty of steep hills, so we were relieved after 30 kilometres and another 7 hours to see our campsite arriving. Our third and final day started peacefully, with woodland walks and some seaside scrambling, not so simple with sore legs. We were pretty stiff and sore, but the views and the promise of the finish line approaching kept us going. We passed lighthouses and enjoyed more epic views before making it to the pretty village of Mousehole where we stopped for breakfast. From here, the flat and simple hour-long walk through fishing villages to Penzance was a welcome respite, and we made it to Penzance station, the end of our route, with 4 hours on the clock. Over the course of the 3 days, we'd done 45 miles and I'd racked up over 100,000 steps. An epic, beautiful and life-affirming walk that can be done in as many or as few days as you'd like, and all accessed via public transport. Lovely stuff.